Good afternoon, Badass Artists. I'm Mia Luyando. Today we are back. We are in Blackwater Bayou. We are going to finish up this cute little troll that we started earlier. We had our lesson on how to color metallic gold. I hope you were able to join me for that one. Today we're going to just finish up her skin tone and work on her eyes and lips. And if we have some time, we'll do the background. If not, we'll do that in a separate video. So I already have the Posca pencils out today. I had them out working on something else. We'll just continue on with those. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with Posca pencils, most of you probably know Posca as a marker company. They're famous for their markers, but they also have a line of pencils. And it's a limited line. There are only 36 colors, and they don't have names or numbers on them. They're just Posca pencils. So I will put a link to those in the description below if you are interested in checking them out. Okay, so this is like a flesh tone that they have in the set. And that was another reason why I decided to stick with the Poscas, because they don't have flesh tones per se in the set, but they do have these three brown colors. And I wanted you guys to feel comfortable. If you have a set of pencils, you know, don't feel like you have to go out and buy a set of flesh tone pencils. You know, you can use the brown pencils that come in the set that you have, and that's what we're going to do today. We're going to just use what we have. So this is like a peachy pink color. Most sets of pencils have a color like this somewhere in there. It's sort of a fleshy tone. So if you don't have a flesh tone, just choose a pale peach color. And we're going to, well, I already did the ears, as you can see, but we're going to jump right in. And we're going to start filling in the color. Actually, I'm going to put this one down and go with a lighter brown color. This is, you know, it's sort of a light tan color. We're going to start with that one instead. And I'm just going to go into her temple area. And get that shadowy part. I like to start with the darker color first. And if you need it to be darker, we can do that too. But we're going to just see what this does for us first. I'm just going to add this like contours all the way around. I'm going to get this up underneath her eye and in the eye socket area. So I just use small little circular strokes when I'm doing skin tone. It makes it easier to blend other colors into it. It also makes a really tight pattern so that it looks smoother. That's just my method. For those of you just starting, it might be helpful for you. Let's zoom in a little bit. And I'm going to go all the way around her little cheek. I'm also going to go around her chin with this darker color. I'm going to go in with a darker color still around the shadows of her chin because she's got quite a lot of dark, shadowy areas here, but we're gonna go over it with this color first. Just take your time. Work your way around. Just small little circles. That'll help when we go over it with the next color. It'll blend right in. And now most of the light, our light source is hitting her right kind of in the center of the forehead, so we don't have to get too dark around here. But we still want to give her a little shade, a little shadow. Kind of a reflection off of this little hat. And I'm going to add just a little bit of this darker color detail in the ear. I'm not spending a lot of time. Okay, now we're going to go back and we're going to grab a little bit darker brown. Like I said, these aren't named or numbered. There's only 36 of them, so they're pretty easy to tell apart when you're looking at your set. And I'm going to go around her chin and just deepen this up even more. And I'm also going to add some to her neck, but not all over. I'm going to leave her neck mostly in this shadowy grayscale. But I am going to add some where the light would kind of strike it. And I'm going to add some right underneath her lashes, right where it's just the darkest. And really give this some oomph. Okay, now we're going to try again with that peachy flesh tone. We're going to go right in. And you can see how easily it blends right into that darker color. we're just going to fill this area in. And you can see these aren't standard flesh tones. These are just browns and a peach color from this set. It's just a standard 36 color set. It's not a specialty set. It's not made just for skin tones. But we're making this work just easy as can be. So just because a set of pencils that you have is not made specifically for skin tones, that's okay. We can make that work too. We're just going to take our time. This is mainly just busy work. So while I fill this in, pull up a chair, get comfortable, grab a snack. For those of you joining me at home who are following along, I am so glad to have you. And you can see how that comes together very nicely. It makes a nice light skin tone, but we've still got plenty of intense contours and shadows, and we're letting that grayscale work for us too. This isn't one of our bigger portraits, but we definitely did a lot of work on that metallic gold outfit. So we want our skin tone to be nice and bright. Okay, I'm going to take from this same set, this is kind of a terracotta color, and I'm going to add very, very lightly some blush color here. I'm just barely touching the paper. This color has a lot of pigment, so I'm just barely using it, but I definitely want to give her some warmth, give her a little blush on these cheeks. I'm just adding this just like I would be putting blush on myself. Maybe a little more aggressively with her. But just sort of follow along the little chubby part of her cheek and bring it up into her temple. Go ahead and finish this side before I start the other. I But you can see how that really gives it a lot of warmth. It really wakes the picture up. It gives it a level of realism. It gives her a three-dimensional look instead of being so two-dimensional. You don't have to overdo it, but I'm going to add a little bit to her nose, a little to her chin, and some on the inner corners of her eyes. Also the little corners right there. And also, I like to use the blush color as the base color for the lips. So we're just going to fill that in. Nice and gently. And we'll kind of leave this area right across the bottom a little lighter where the light hits, so it looks a little glossier. But we'll darken up that top lip a bit. Now I'm going to go back to our brown colors, and I'm going to get a darker brown even still than the ones that we used on her face. And I'm going to fill in her eyebrows. And when you're filling in eyebrows, you just want to use some little quick flecks. Don't want to overdo it. Kind of follow along until you get to the arch, and then change directions. That kind of gives it a little bit more of a natural look. Now I'm going to get if I can find it, the black, and add just a little bit in there, just to darken it up a little bit. And I'm also going to add some more eyelashes. And the eyelashes, remember, they're random. They're going to overlap each other. They're not going to be symmetrical. Okay. Now, I'm also going to take that dark brown color and sort of fill in these little wisps of hair. And that leaves us with her eyes. And let's give her some green eyes. I'm just looking at my colors here. Okay. Now I'm going to take a dark green, and this is a deep, kind of an evergreen color. And I'm going to go around the outer edge of the iris. I'm just going to take little flecks, kind of like we were doing the eyelashes. And I'm not making a solid circle around. I'm just doing like little flecks. zoom in a little closer so you can see. Going towards the pupil. And next, I'm going to take a much lighter green. And I'm going to go around and do the same thing. And I'm going to take a third kind of deep emerald green. And I'm going to go around and do just the same thing. I'm just working these three colors in. You can see them all. Now finally, I'm going to go back to that darker brown color. And I'm going to go close to the pupil, but not exactly touching it, maybe like a millimeter away. And I'm going to go from that point back out towards the iris. Everybody has little flecks and different colors closer to the pupil of their eye. We're going to give her like a little radiant starburst of hazel eyes here. We're going to make them greenish brown. And then on top of that, just to blend it all in, I'm going to take, well, no, I'm not going to take that one. I'm going to take this mossy green color and just kind of go right over the top of that. That looks good. And last but not least, I'm going to grab a blue color and just add a couple of little areas of highlighted blue, because most green eyes have a little bit of blue in them as well. And we're going for realism on these eyes. And we're just adding that very sparingly. Okay, so there we have some hazel eyes. Let me zoom back out so that you can see the progress we made today. And there you have it with the skin tone in the eyes. I don't think we're going to have time to do the background today, so we will make that in another video. I hope you'll join me for that. But if you found this video helpful, I do hope you'll give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, I hope you'll do so. That way you'll always know when I upload a new video. I try to get 2 or 3 out every week. And I think that takes care of us for the day. Okay, everybody, thanks so much for joining me. I enjoyed our time together, and I will see you next time.